Hey guys, this is Vamakshi Verma from Kernels Academy, and today we are going to see about an atom. Let's first understand what an atom is. So basically, atom is the smallest or the tiniest part of the matter. Now matter can be anything. It can be solid, liquid or gas. So if we break matter into the smallest pieces, it would be an atom. It is just like we have the cell as the smallest and the fundamental unit of our body. Now let's see the structure of the smallest part, that is an atom, in more detail. The structure of an atom is very much similar to the structure of our solar system. Like in our solar system, we have a sun in between, and many planets are revolving around the sun in a fixed orbit. Similar to this solar system, our atom have a nucleus in between. And in the nucleus, we have two members of an atom. These are N and P. Now, similar to the orbits in the solar system, here also we have orbits. In these orbits, another member of an atom is placed, which is known as the electron. But here, every orbit has a limit. Limits of what? Limits of occupying electrons in it. So in the first orbit, there are 2 electrons. In the second, there are 8 electrons. And in the third, there are 18. In the fourth, there are 32, and so on. Like this. Now, this arrangement of electrons in the orbits is known as the electronic configuration of an atom. And it is 2, 8, 18, 32. That is, the maximum number of electrons in the first orbit, in this first orbit, should be 2. Less than 2 can be accommodated, but more than 2 is not allowed. And same is the case with the other orbitals also. Like in the second orbit, only 8 are allowed, not more than 8. Now let's see the relation between these members, these N, P and these electrons of an atom. What is the relation behind them? So this is an electron which has a negative charge with it. P is the proton which has the positive charge with it, and N is the neutron which is neutral in charge. That is, it is neither negative nor it is positive. You can remember this by P for positive, N for neutral, and the rest that is electron. You can remember it if you have remembered P and N. And the electron with negative charge will automatically come to your mind. Now the number of electrons is equal to the number of protons. So if say an atom has 10 electrons, so it will be having 10 protons as well, and vice versa. So if number of electrons is equal to the number of protons, what about the number of neutrons? So basically number of neutrons can be or cannot be equal to number of electrons and protons. You will come to know about this in more detail in the further concepts. Now let's see the two basic definitions of an atom. For this, let's consider an atom again. Here, this is the nucleus where neutrons and protons reside. There are orbitals. In first orbital, 2 electrons are present. In second, 8. Now we are going to see the first basic definition of an atom, which is atomic mass or mass number, which is denoted by a capital A. Atomic mass number is given by the number of protons and neutrons that were sitting in the core of an atom, that is a nucleus. So basically, atomic number is the sum of neutrons and protons. That is, if we add the number of neutrons and protons, we will get the atomic mass number, that is capital A. Now, if we are defining the atomic mass as a whole, so why we are not including the electrons in it? The reason is electrons has the ability to leave or come back to the orbit, and because of which we don't include it in the mass number. So the mass number is sum of neutrons and protons. Now let's see the another definition of an atom, that is atomic number, for which also we will consider an atom. So this is the nucleus where N and P resides. Again, N is for neutron, P is for proton. There are two orbitals in this example. So first orbital has the maximum limit of 2 electrons, and the second orbital has the maximum limit of 8 electrons. Now this orbits or orbitals can be also said as atomic orbitals or atomic shells. Now we are defining atomic number, which is denoted by a capital Z. Atomic number can be defined as two different types. So basically in the first type we can say that it is the number of protons, and in the second type we say that atomic number is nothing but the number of electrons but in the neutral state. Now neutral state of what? Neutral state of an atom. Now what is a neutral state of an atom? For this, as I had said earlier, that electrons has the ability to leave or come back to the orbit or orbital. So if an electron leaves the orbit or an extra electron comes in the atom, the atomic number does not changes and it remains the same. And as I had also mentioned earlier that number of protons and number of electrons are equal. So whatever be the number of protons or electrons, that is the number of your atom. That is the atomic number. That is capital Z. Okay. So basically number of protons and number of electrons are same. But in some cases where electrons leave or they come back to the orbit, so some changes takes place in an atom. So we do not define atomic number by the number of electrons in that state. We will come to know these concepts more effectively in the examples. Let's see the examples first. So let's consider this example. So this is an atom of oxygen and the symbol of oxygen is O. As you can see here, it is written here. The symbol of oxygen is O. And the atomic number of oxygen is 8, as it is written here. As you can see in this diagram, this is your nucleus where neutrons and protons of the oxygen are residing. And these are the orbitals of electron. Now oxygen has 8 electrons in total. So the electronic configuration, that is the placement of electrons across these orbitals, are 2, 6. In the first orbital, the maximum number of electrons that accommodate are 2. So out of 8, 2 goes in the first orbit, 6 remains. So 6 is accommodated in the next orbit, in the second orbit, where the limit was 8, but 6 is less than 8. So all the 6 electrons goes in the second orbit. So the electronic configuration becomes 2, 6. And remember this, electronic configuration is nothing to do with protons and neutrons. It is only the arrangement of electrons across these orbits. So next is atomic mass. And atomic mass, which was denoted by A, was nothing but number of neutrons plus number of protons. And here the answer comes up to be 16. Now, in this case, like in this oxygen, the number of neutrons and the number of protons are same. That is why the answer is 16. But it is happening in this case. It does not happen every time. Okay. Now the next would be atomic number, which was denoted by Z, and it was nothing but the number of electrons in neutral state and the number of protons or the number of protons. So here I can say that it is number of electrons because this atom is in the neutral state. Why it is in the neutral state? You will come to know the neutral state concept in the next example. So here oxygen atom is in the neutral state, and so the number of electrons is 8. This I can also say it as it is the number of protons. So whether it be number of electrons or it be number of protons, it is 8. So atomic mass is 16 and atomic number is 8, and the electronic configuration of oxygen is 2, 6. Now let's see the another example. The another example is of sodium atom, and sodium is denoted by N, capital N and a small a. Now, the atomic number or the electron count was 11. So, in the first orbital, there are 2 electrons which are accommodated. So, the maximum was 2 and 2 electrons are accommodated. So, out of 11, 2 comes in the first orbital. Now, total remaining are 9. But in the next orbital, only 8 electrons can be accommodated at the maximum level. So 8 goes in the second orbital. Now 1 electron is remaining and 1 electron goes in the third orbital. Still, the third orbital has the limit of 18. So if extra electrons were there, if any, so they can be accommodated in the third orbital. But till now, in the first orbital, there are 2 electrons, in the second there are 8 electrons, and in the third there are 1 electrons. Now, if this electrons happens that it comes out of the shell, out of the atom, so electrons was negatively charged, and if it goes out of the atom, so it will leave a positive charge on the atom, like this. Okay, now if one electron has been reduced, so it is seen in the electronic configuration, and this sodium atom is now converted into sodium ion, where the electronic configuration is now changed into 2,8, where one electron is not present in the sodium ion and it is not mentioned in the electronic configuration. So as I was saying earlier about the neutral state, so this sodium atom is in the neutral state because there is no charge here, either negative or positive. But in the sodium ion, there is a charge that has come up, that is positive charge because of one electron leaving the atom. So this is now not the neutral state. Okay, so in the neutral state, the number of electrons and the number of protons are same. But in the charged state, the number of electrons and the number of protons are not same. But number of protons are same in both, that is sodium atom also and sodium ion also, because electron has left the atom, protons are still remaining the same. So here the atomic mass is again number of neutrons plus proton, which comes up to be 23, and atomic mass, atomic number is number of protons, which is 11. Okay, because of this one electron leaving the atom, I will not say that number of electrons being changed, the atomic number has become 10. No, the number of protons are still the same in both the sodium atom also and in the sodium ion also. Therefore, the atomic number is still 11. So if we assume that number of neutrons are same to the number of protons, so the answer here had to be 22. Okay, because 11 plus 11 is 22, but here the answer is 23. Why? Because the number of neutrons are 12 in number here. Okay, so as I had said that number of neutrons and number of protons are not same every time, but sometime yes. Okay, so I hope that atomic mass number, atomic number, electronic configuration, every part is clear with you all. Now let's go with some more concepts related to an atom. So let's consider this example. Again, we will consider sodium, where the atomic number was 11. That is the number of protons and the number of electrons were same in the neutral state. So the atom is like this, where where this is your nucleus, where neutrons and protons are residing. There are atomic orbitals. Okay, so because sodium has 11 electrons, so in the first orbital there are 2 electrons according to the electronic configuration rule. Maximum number of electrons in the first has to be 2, so 2 electrons in the first. Now remaining are 9. So in the second orbital, 8 electrons can be maximum accommodated. So 8 electrons are accommodated in the second shell. So here comes the third shell, and in the third shell only 1 electron is being placed. Now this is the sodium atom, and the electronic configuration for this becomes 2, 8, 1. Now the new concept that we are going to study here is valence shell. Now what is valence shell? Valence shell is the last atomic shell or the orbital. So the last atomic shell or the orbital here is this, in which only 1 electron is being placed, the last orbital. Okay, so that last orbital in an atom is known as the valence shell. Now the next concept is valence electron. Now valence electron is nothing but the total number of electrons in the valence shell. that is the total number of electrons that are already placed or already accommodated in the valence shell or in the last shell. So here the total number of electrons that are present in the valence shell or last shell is nothing but 1. So the valence electron is 1. Now suppose that if this 1 goes out of this atom. Now why this electron will go out from this atom? The reason is, in this orbital, as I had explained earlier, in the third orbital, the total electrons to be accommodated were 18. And according to that electronic configuration, this atom is not stable in this electronic configuration, that is 281. So here in this third orbital, the total electrons had to be 18 so that the atom becomes stable, but it is 1. So there are two options with the atom left. Either it accepts 17 more electrons to get stable, or it gives one electron away from it so that it becomes stable. So the better option is giving one electron away from it rather than taking 17 electrons. Okay, so what it does is it gives out this one electron, and because that one electron is not there, so this shell is useless now. So we'll remove this shell also, and now this sodium atom has converted into sodium ion. Now this, in the sodium ion, you can see that a positive charge is there. The positive charge is because electrons were negative in charge. Now if negativity goes from an atom, the positivity comes. So whatever the number of negativity goes, the number of positivity comes. Here only one electron left the atom, so one positive charge is with the sodium atom, and it is now become sodium ion. And now the electronic configuration changes into 2,8. Here we will also learn one more concept, which is valency. Now valency is nothing but the number of electrons that are removed by an atom to make it stable. Okay, so here the number of electrons those were removed by the atom to make itself stable was 1. Therefore the valency is 1. Now the valence electron and valency is not same all the time. Here in the case of sodium, the valence electron and valency have come to be same, but it is not same all the time. Now let's see the other example so that the concept becomes more clear to you. So here we have chlorine. The atomic number for chlorine is 17. So the atomic structure is like this, where this is the nucleus again, where neutrons and protons are there. There are atomic orbitals. So according to the electronic configuration, in first atomic orbital, there are 2 electrons placed, like this. In the second atomic orbitals, there are 8 electrons placed, because maximum number of electrons that can be accommodated in second orbital is 8, so 8 electrons are placed. Now out of 17, 10 are already accommodated in first 2 orbitals. The remaining are 7. So 7 are accommodated in the last orbital. Okay. Now this was your chlorine atom, and the electronic configuration was 2,8,7. The chlorine atom takes or accepts one electron so that to make it stable. Now why one electron? The third shell has to be accommodated with 18 electrons. Yes, but we can consider that if there are 8 electrons, the atom is stable. Okay, so here chlorine atom takes one electron or accepts one electron so that it is now stable in the configuration. That is, now it becomes chlorine ion, and because it has taken or accepted an electron which was negative in charge, so the negativity comes in, and the number of negativity that comes in is 1. So here chlorine has one negative charge, and the electronic configuration now changes into 2,8,8, where now this chlorine atom, which has now converted into a chlorine ion, is now become stable. Now the valence shell was obviously the last atomic shell or the orbital. The valency here was the number of electrons that are accepted to make the atom stable, and the number of electrons accepted by the chlorine atom was 1. So the valency is 1. and the valence electron here was the total number of electrons in the valence shell. So before accepting, the total number of electrons in the valence shell was 7, therefore the valence electron is 7. As you have observed that in the previous example, I have written here the number of electrons donated, and in this example I have written the number of electrons accepted. So the basic definition of valency becomes that the number of electrons donated or accepted by an atom to make the atom stable is known as valency. So what happens with these ions? This chlorine has become Cl minus, and the previous example where we had taken sodium, it has become Na plus. Okay, so these ions are also not basically stable in nature, so they chemically combine with each other to give some chemical compounds, and this formation of chemical compounds we are going to see further in the further videos, obviously in more detail. So basically here what happens is chlorine Cl minus combines with Na plus, that is sodium ion, to give you salt which you use in your food, that is your common salt. And similarly to this ions or these atoms, we have in total 118 elements or 118 atoms placed in the periodic table in chemistry. So these 118 elements react with each other, or they form ions, or they form any other chemical compounds reacting to each other. And this is the interesting phenomena that we are going to see in this chapter. Let's summarize all the points that we had seen in this video. The very first point comes up to be atom is the smallest unit of the matter. Matter can be solid, liquid or gas. The second point is electronic configuration of an atom is given by 2, 8, 18, 32. Now this 2, 8, 18 can also be 2, 8, 8 as we had seen in the chlorine example. The third point is electron is negative, proton is positive and neutron is neutral. The fourth point is atomic mass number, that was denoted by capital A, is nothing but number of protons plus number of neutrons. The fifth point says atomic number, that was denoted by Z, is nothing but the number of protons or the number of electrons in the neutral state. The sixth point is valence shell is nothing but the last orbital or the last shell. The seventh point is valence electron is nothing but the total number of electrons in the last shell or the orbital. And the last point, that is the eighth point, is valency is nothing but the number of electrons of an atom that it removes or accepts to make itself a stable ion or the stable atom, or to maintain the stable electronic configuration. I hope that everything is very much clear to you all. If you have any sort of doubts, you can be free to ask me in the comment section. Thank you so much for this video.